What is up, Cobra Kai fans? Welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're going to be talking about Cobra Kai Season 5 spoilers. We'll be doing all discussion about the new season. We can finally talk about specific things. Now, I do want to still do a proper review, and I want to take more time to do that. So I will be dropping an official review, and I'll obviously talk spoilers. But I've watched Season 5 so many times now, and I honestly don't get fed up of it. But it's easily my favorite season, and honestly, the moments in the finale that we got to see, the amazing returns of some characters, and the surprises we got. Honestly, the fight scenes, the action. Oh my god! Like that was just terrific. I will never forget how insane that finale was. Definitely the best finale. So, guys, how are we doing today? Cobra Kai Platinum, hello. What's up, people? I see you all in the stream. Hello. Delmont, Strike First Media, Cody Boy, what's good? Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? It's honestly, it's easily the best season, right? Yeah, I agree, Trophy. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I've watched it so many times now. I've watched it 6 times now, fully. And I will say it's easy the best. Like, you can't be so sure of yourself on the first watch. You have to watch it a little bit more to understand, but yeah, easily. Um, Hello, Hassan. It's honestly such a great season. I'm still trying to process how it turned out. I'm just so like amazed. It was so amazing. The season is actually crazy. Honestly, I think crazy is an understatement. It was insanity. It was out of this world. Like, I think the culmination of 5 seasons has just perfectly been displayed. I honestly loved it. And I might be sounding very positive about it, and I'm not trying to just say it because I like Cobra Kai, but it generally was really good. I didn't really have problems with this season. I think that I had very minor problems. Like, a lot of people were moaning to like just generally about pacing, and I don't feel like I had an issue with that. And people were saying about it being slow, like the first half. I honestly thought when I watched it for the first time, the first half of season 5 is better than the whole of season 4, and that's just the way you felt with the season, and it's so unique. It's so different. William Zabka was spot on when he said it was different. Like, you really understand that when you watch the first 5 episodes. The dark tone. I think a lot of people had a bit of an issue with it getting darker and feeling really different, but I honestly think that was probably the best part about it. It really showed you maturity within the characters and developing the characters each season. And as the youngsters getting older, they're learning more about themselves. Same with Johnny and Daniel at their age, they're still learning a lot about themselves, and it was really fun. I think we're definitely going to get some great things coming for the future of Cobra Kai, but season 5 I really enjoyed. What's up, Rami? Dude, the music this season, Leo and Zach honestly smashed it. I loved every soundtrack of Cobra Kai, but this soundtrack I think is easily the most movie feeling. The film felt so cinematic when you watch the scenes because of the soundtrack, and cinematography this season was great. It was filtered nicely. I mean, obviously the quality was great. I loved the soundtrack. I loved the score when Chosen and Silver played. I loved the score that played when Chosen and Silver were fighting. That was amazing. And yeah, Strike never said that. He never said that. Me and him actually agreed massively on this. It's the best season. Um, Okay, here's the thing. People were saying that they this is the thing I really didn't get. People were saying Mexico was slow. Everything was slow about it, but they rushed Mexico. It can't be slow and rushed. I mean, it needed 2 episodes minimum. I think if we did a 3rd episode, like, how would they go about it? If you are saying it's rushed, what would you have wanted to see more from Mexico? For me, I think we just needed 1 or 2 more scenes, maybe just a little scene of the car ride and just maybe, kind of seeing the tension between Miguel and Robby. But then again, you kind of expecting it because you can see Miguel's reaction to just seeing Robby there when Johnny finds him. But, I think they just left it more open, especially the dad. I mean, did he not see a car? Did he not hear Johnny shouting Miguel? I mean, I'm kind of curious if his dad noticed any of those things, even though he was having Chicharron in the back. So I think with Mexico, it could have been a budget thing. Um, Funny enough, not that it's a funny thing, but crazy enough, I should say. They filmed in Puerto Rico also for Blue Beetle, and why does that always happen? I was literally saying they were filming Blue Beetle in Puerto Rico, and that had to be, I think it got delayed or something about production got stopped because there was actually like some shooting or something crazy happening. Um, maybe with Puerto Rico, they took their precautions with going for filming season 5 of Cobra Kai. And maybe they just wanted to get there and get out. But again, like, I don't think they were in an area that was dangerous. I think we just needed an 1 or 2 more scenes from Mexico, but I liked what they did. I'm not disappointed, so I can't really complain. Um, Double A, I like that take. It definitely felt like a film. John Hurwitz said the finale did, and that definitely was a movie. If you made that finale an hour and a half, an hour and 40, or 2 hours, it would feel even more like a film. Like, yeah, the new and cool locations on Club to Bars, the mansions, the cinematic vibe was definitely apparent. Okay, I understand people's gripes with them setting it up, but do you just think maybe that was just down to people expecting too much? I mean, yes, it did seem like a big thing, Miguel leaving for Mexico, and obviously Silver taking over Cobra Kai. I mean, him imprisoning Kreese, that was a big deal. That lasted a whole season. But technically, it's still going on throughout season 6 because Kreese obviously leaving prison. It's a big deal. And how's he gonna get away with that? And what's his plan? What's his end game with getting out of prison? He sounds like he doesn't want to get rid of Cobra Kai. So we'll see what happens with Kreese. But I think, excuse me, I think people maybe just expected too much from Mexico. I didn't think they were gonna make half the season about Mexico because let's be real, it was never gonna be about half a season. I think people need to remember Miguel's father has been included in season 5, and they left it very open ended. He knows that Miguel was a champion in California, and he might be curious to check out the valley, for a reason. He knows people in high places. I mean, I'm just saying this now with Terry Silver in prison. How do you know that him and Miguel's father won't connect? I mean, Hector and Terry Silver are both bad men. They probably know people that connects them together. If not, I can just imagine them meeting for the first time, not knowing each other at all. I can see them working together, and I think Miguel's father could work on, help Silver on the other side, and people wouldn't. It would really take away I mean, the guys in the valley, like, like Miguel, Sam, Tori, Robby, Johnny, Daniel, Chosen, all those characters, they would not see that coming with Miguel's father. Um, because they think, yeah, he doesn't know about Miguel. He doesn't know that he was related to Carmen, but he did see a photo of Sam. So we just need to see what happens with that. But Miguel's father could come back. But if it's not season 6, maybe at the end, or season 7, we might see him return. But we need to understand that they've left it open ended. So it's still important they introduced him because he was a character they've been talking about from the start. So with that being said, I mean, probably Stan, just keep watching it again, and maybe you'll get a better idea. Because I will be doing a ranking of the seasons, because it'll be fun doing like a tier list. I haven't done one in a while, so that'll be really fun. Um, I have a feeling at some point Terry Silver ponytail be carved at some point. It was brought up so many times this season. I think I actually think that would be interesting because I know Johnny said he's going to take it off him. If he gets a fight with Johnny in season 6 and then Johnny tries to take it off, that'd be quite funny. But I can't imagine him going with scissors and doing it. I think it'd be more like weapons. Like maybe he tries to get Silver and ends up cutting his ponytail off, or it could be pretty crazy. But I would definitely say this. There's been some interesting theories about Silver, and I think there's more to Silver than we're seeing. And I think something is wrong with him because he somehow he went to see Carmen and Johnny. How did he know they were there at the hospital? Why was he at the hospital? And you notice he's always talking about legacy, and he's really desperate to make Kenny and Tori like the best they can be. And he even said to Tori like about the whole referee thing, "I'm not going to hold it against you if you quit, but I will make you the future of this dojo." It's he's really caring about it. And he also said about youth in the finale to Sensei Kim, like youth is something you can't buy. So, hey, if this was the MCU, then you could buy it, Terry Silver, but this isn't the MCU. So just remember, Terry Silver definitely looks like he could be dying. It could be leading to something. What if Terry Silver is dying of a disease or an illness, and they're setting that up? Because those quotes, they could mean something more. I mean, hey, I could be wrong, but the writers have intentions. That those could be throwaway lines. I think season 4 definitely took in what was going on, but I think they slowed it down because everyone knew the old Valley was coming at the end. But with season 5, there was so much going on. I think the first half went smoothly, and within those episodes as well, it slows down when it needs to. Like if we're having Miguel in Mexico in 2 episodes, we want that to slow down. You don't want to rush the pacing. I think the fact that they had Mexico for 2 episodes, I think is a good thing. You might say it's slow. It's not a bad thing. Like it took its time. Like people have got to understand you can't rush, the feeling of stories. Sometimes like they did not. For me, I didn't feel like they rushed Mexico. I just think they needed to add a little bit more. I think when you really pay attention to it, there is quite a lot there. But there was bigger things in Mexico. There's way more. But hey, his dad is in the story now officially, so that's the thing. Kreese shouldn't become a villain again. I get what you're saying, but I think he's. I don't think. I think Kreese doesn't want Cobra Kai to go, so I can see him trying to work with Sensei Kim because Sensei Kim is a character that was disappointed when she heard that Kreese wasn't with Cobra Kai anymore. And a shout out to Strike First Media because I didn't see this at first, but he said the little girl in the flashback with Kreese and Silver, that was Sensei Kim. I didn't notice it until I noticed the hair, and that made the connection with why she was disappointed not to see Kreese back in Cobra Kai. So that makes a lot of sense. And I think Sensei Kim and Kreese would probably work better together than, you know, Kreese and Silver. It was never going to work. And also Kreese and, Silver and Sensei Kim probably wasn't going to work because you could see Silver, the rivalry was still keeping him at bay. But Sensei Kim doesn't care about all of that, but she might start getting dragged into it now and going, well, the fact that Silver's in prison, like, it really is a problem that these guys are still trying to, like, compete, even though they lost the All Valley. Like, there's obviously more to stakes. Uh, is this, is, sorry, is this actually Drew? I need to see, because I did block. Sorry, if this is you, Drew, then fair enough, but I did block, like, an actual Cobra Kai Kid account, so I don't know. Is that actually Drew? I'm trying to see. I can't see. That's kind of weird. I can't see the comment on the live chat on here. Is that actually Drew? I don't know. Oh, someone changed their account. If that's you, Drew, what's up, dude? Yeah, Sholo does have a YouTube channel though. Actually, I swear he actually does though. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to catch up with your questions. Went on a little bit there. See, the thing is, I like this though about Kreese when they switched to Barrett. I think that was interesting storytelling. He's becoming himself, like the young Kreese, but he's also like he's able to do the fight scene. So still makes Kreese badass. That would have been. They don't even need like a big scene. It could just be like someone's talking over the scene, like at the end of episode 5, where you got to see Robby fixing the door, and like Terry Silver on the bag, and like Tori's talking to Kreese, and they reveal that. Like we could have just seen like maybe Miguel and Robby just kind of looking at each other. Like maybe Miguel's at the front, and like he turns around, looks at Robby, and Robby looks at him, or maybe Miguel's in the back, and then he looks at Robby. Like they could have done that, and maybe Johnny notices that, and he's just kind of like, "Yeah, I got to sort that out." Um, I appreciate that. Yo, appreciate that, bro. Hope school's going well. Um, I actually think he is, but I don't think they're gonna. I don't think season 6 will go. I think that will be towards the end of the series, but maybe they'll finally like give it. They'll probably make it more clear in season 6. You think Hector? I personally think Kreese Sensei Kim working together would make sense, but adding like people like him to the situation would be quite interesting. Um, yeah, I would like that. And I mean, they might not set him up as a main villain, but if they tease anything, that'd be quite interesting. Will we be seeing more of the new Cobra Kai senseis? I mean, I think we will. I'm just kind of curious if they introduce anyone else. But the valley is expanding with dojos, and it still is. But right now, the expansion might stop because of what happened to Silver. And then Sensei Kim probably just has to settle with what they have right now because she owns 50%. Or maybe she might think that some of the dojos might need to shut. or Cobra Kai loses some of the dojos back to Topanga and the other dojos they took over because they feel like they can't keep it running. But I mean, she was paid a lot by Silver, and I honestly don't think Silver's gonna be in prison for long. Like, just I just don't expect it. So yeah. I've seen a lot of comments about Hawk not getting enough screen time. I feel like he got enough. Do you think he need more screen time? I think Hawk had like a similar amount season 4, maybe a little bit more, but I don't know about how the Hawk fans feel. One of my friends think he got shafted absolutely, like like completely shafted. I know people also noticed that Dimitri was demoted to guest star. Um, and we all love Dimitri. Like, if he was at the party in episode 9, that would have been quite cool. But I mean, maybe he's working on another show as well, so they couldn't get him for all those episodes, so they had to demote him to that. But they made Dallas a regular star, which is quite surprising because he's only been in it for 2 seasons. Like, I feel like you should make Jacob and Gianni like regular stars because they're great. Um, but I guess maybe they wanted to give more to some of the other characters this season, so maybe like it seemed like they had less screen time because of it. But like Hayden said, this show has the most characters involved for a 30-minute series. So how did you all feel about this? Because I absolutely loved it. And you know what's annoying? Shortly before I saw screeners. So right, like I shit you not, like a few days before I saw screeners, me and Darius, you might know Darius from Kings of Pop Culture, we were like talking about I was like saying to him, like, do you reckon we're gonna see Jessica? Because Mike is clearly returning because we saw that still. And we always thought he would be in season 5. But is Jessica gonna return? Jessica returned in the in a way I thought would happen because on her Instagram, Robin Lively, who plays Jessica Andrews, on her Instagram, she was following Courtney, who plays Amanda, and she was following the creators of Cobra Kai, the official Cobra Kai page, and then eventually I think she followed William and Ralph. I was like, well, the fact that Robin did that made it very obvious that she's gonna have worked with Courtney. So then I started to put two and two together to think Jessica is either Amanda's friend or she's family. And then me and Darius talking more about it, and we're like, well, what's she gonna do with what would the relation be? Why would she come back? Because they bring cameos for good reasons, like for the story. Like with Mike, it felt like chosen in season 3. So I think Mike, if he doesn't get a bigger season 6, then the next season, but maybe he'll get more involved in season 6 instead of waiting another season like chosen. So I think the Jessica stuff was done brilliantly. But yeah, me and Darius, we literally called it. Like we said that she could tell Terry Silver. I mean, she could tell Amanda all the stuff with Terry Silver. And when Amanda and Daniel had tension in that scene in the trailer, I started to think if the kids leave the valley for a bit, because her family's in Ohio, Amanda's, so it made so much sense. It made a lot of sense. But yeah, I wish I did a video on it. I really wish I did a video. I literally was it was just like I just couldn't believe it. But I'm really glad she came back. I think it might have made it a little bit obvious she was also in season 5 because she was at the premiere in LA. But yeah, I think Tori will have a huge impact on Kree's escape. The fact that she kind of felt Kreese was lying to her and stuff, and now he's escaped, she might feel like she did all that work and Kreese still like got out. So like it kind of gave her more grief and trouble. That might also put her off Kreese, which if Tori's not happy with Kreese, Kreese has got to understand that he's really screwed up here because Tori really like had a like really trusted Kreese, but she doesn't anymore. So That's definitely another mistake he's made. Like, Chris definitely has guilt, but I don't think he's still owning up to a lot of the stuff that he did. And I think, you've got to own up to it eventually. Um, yeah, I mean, Kreese is definitely gonna have a big season. Like, remember, he was hardly in season 5, and it made sense. Terry's in Cobra Kai, he's running it. But honestly, we're gonna get. I definitely think we're gonna get a lot. So stay tuned with all the stuff with all the stuff with um. I think it is a fake. I I don't think they're gonna. I don't think he's gonna leave the show. Um, but if he keeps getting his screen time reduced and reduced, they could come to a point where he's not in a season, or it's so minimal he'll be up in like the last few episodes, maybe. But he's a great character. I don't want to get rid of him. Um, a lot of people were expecting more from Anthony and Kenny in season 5, but with I feel like the focus was more of a balance this season. It wasn't about Anthony, Kenny, and Devon, but they did get their moments to shine. It was really about obviously the teenagers and then the adults. But I think you could rank it with the adults and then the teenagers, but I think they balanced it quite well. But like, Daniel's storyline was huge. If Drew, if that's actually you, if that's the actual Cobra Kai kid, drop me a message because I still don't know if that's you. Um, is this you? LOL. Um, oh, Kira, it's been a while. How are you? It's been like ages. Yeah, I think Anthony and Kenny will probably get more in season 6. They had their moments though. Yeah, I can't check if there's a tick on that account, so that's why I had to like message him. But I don't see it. I had him as a moderator, so I just checked on the thing. It's not him. Uh, I actually think if if I'm correct about the thing with Silver dying, then I think Kreese they might not kill him off because I think. See, here's the thing: they can kill Kreese or they can kill Silver, but I think we can get a moment where what if they both die? I mean, if Silver's dying, maybe he tries to kill one of the characters, and then Kreese is the guy that stops him, and then he dies in the process. Cobra Kai fully ends with those two. Other than Kreese, who knows what Cobra Kai Cry is like? Literally, Terry Silver, and obviously Johnny knows Cobra Kai as well, and Daniel does in a sense. But Johnny and Daniel would make Cobra Kai great if they were the ones that were owning Cobra Kai. Kreese and Silver, unfortunately, they fell to so many demons. That's why it's such a corrupt version. I like their philosophies to an extent, but then when they go extremely about it, that's where I draw the line. But I actually think we're gonna get some moments where yeah, Kreese and Silver have to fight. And if he's fighting Silver, he could die in the fight. But like I said, if Silver is dying, maybe Kreese doesn't, but maybe both could die in the end when the show finishes. But what do you guys think? Do you want to see? how do you want to see it play out? Would you rather Silver dies or Kreese or both, or what's the scenario in your heads? Because there's so many outcomes. Where was Leah? Well, they didn't do much about the school stuff, and Leah's obviously intertwined with Anthony and Kenny being in school, so she wasn't here this season. Not even Anthony's friends were here. Oh, season 3 and 5 are neck and neck for me. I think, see, like I said, season 5 is season 3 on steroids for me. It paid off so many things we've been wanting from the start, and even when the Karate Kids, like, it's like people saying Chosen and Silver. Imagine if they fought and we finally got it. But yeah, I think 5 edges it. 5 definitely edges it. Oh my god. Okay, I tweeted about this and I literally said that episode 6 had one of the coolest moments I've ever seen. The CGI in Young Johnny was freaking amazing. Wait, let me turn on the game. It was so good. Like I freaking loved it. It was one of the most fascinating things I think Cobra Kai has done, other than the fight scenes and the payoffs that we had. Seeing young Johnny again, but in a scene with that crease and him sort of seeing his regrets and his guilt. Oh, that was amazing. The CGI there was better than some of the MCU CGI, or like some of the CGI I've seen generally. It was so good. It could have been on par with the Alfred Molina de-aging. I loved it. Uh, wait, really? Because there was no wrench next to his name. I did not see a wrench. I have literally made him a mod, so I don't think that's him. Where was Piper? Honestly, Piper, she she literally just disappeared this season. I don't think they needed Piper really this season, but I guess because she lost the fight to Sam, they probably like she probably left karate. Probably felt don't want to do it anymore, or maybe she just took a break from it. You know. Um, do you think Kenny and Anthony will be friends in season 6? Korea still gonna go after each other? I don't think they'll go after each other. I think Kenny, even though he's done some bad stuff, I think Anthony will be like forgiving him, and then Kenny will be like, I'm sorry. But I just think that will be the start, maybe, of them just sort of understanding each other. Like, I think Robby and Miguel could help them out with that as well. I don't think Sam's gonna like Kenny though when she sees him, like knowing that he was bullying Anthony. Or maybe Sam's like talking in between them. That'd be interesting. I thought Sean would be in season 5, but I think the reason why I wasn't involved is because he was doing The Walking Dead, and that's gonna take a lot of your time up. So I don't think he could commit to Cobra Kai. So they probably went, you know what? He'll probably return next season. It would be a great dynamic between him and Kenny next season, especially what Kenny's gone through. So yeah, there's definitely a lot they can do there. Sorry guys, just got I'm literally just replying to someone's message. Yeah, not too shabby. Just so excited about doing more content in season 5 because just seeing the season so many times is gonna be fun. Yeah, I think they did Barnes good. I think if I had to say only gripe a little bit more in the finale, but I think the whole point, like Hayden said, was to have that shock of, oh shit, like Barnes been knocked out. Chosen and Johnny are more outnumbered now. But it gave Johnny the big character moments to be able to handle those guys because he was doing a lot of Miyagi Do. There's a scene, there's like a specific shot where he does like a Miyagi Do block and he grabs one of the sensei's arms and he kicks the other sensei. I thought it was such a cool shot, and like I think we're I think we're gonna get like way more of that, more of Johnny using Miyagi Do. So cool when you see it. Like Daniel really embraced the offense when he fought Silver in episode 5. Like he was hammering Silver, but then it got to his head, and then Silver took the advantage. But Daniel was just more on offense, you know. But he really wanted to hurt Silver. You could tell. I think with Barnes, it was the season 3 chosen treatment. So I assume next season he could be involved, but they might break the whole pattern with that and just go, you know what? He'll have what Chosen had in season 5, so maybe a lot more. Or he could come back the following season. I do have a theory about Barnes on how he can come back and his role, and I think it plays a big part in what they've been setting up. And you guys will probably like it, so I hope neither Chris or Terry dies. In fact, maybe they wipe out all the young characters. Nah, I'm sorry. Hassan, I'm sorry, but if they were to kill the young characters, that would be the worst ending. That is like when the Illuminati got killed in Doctor Strange. It'd be as crazy as actually, it'd probably be crazier than that. It would just be like, why would you do that? But I really think Kreese or Terry could die. I feel like it's gonna happen. It makes sense, like a part of Cobra Kai, you know. Ah, that was okay. Drew was in the stream. He just told me he was. I don't know if it was the Sholo comment. Um, yeah, the CGI on the CGI for young Johnny was way better than the Luke Mandalorian one. The Mandalorian Luke, I know the Boba Fett Luke though. That CGI was good because they got the guy that did the re-edit of it to do it, which was great. Well, I'm glad that the message I popped up was Drew because he told me that he messaged that. That's funny. I'm glad he popped in. Do you think Sensei Kim? Yes, 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 yes. Because it ties into Sensei Kim being disappointed that Kreese is no longer with Cobra Kai. I think they could team up. Okay, when I saw that, I was like, nah, nah. I was in denial immediately because they couldn't kill off Kreese in such a lousy way. Like that's not what the creators would have done. I definitely think they wanted to troll just the start of the episode. Oh my god, Kreese is dead. So the whole episode you were thinking he was dead, and then at the end, like, yeah, they really got if people believe that, that's funny, but I never believed it. I do like what they did though. What's up, Ben? I had the Mexican storyline for 7-8 episodes, and Miguel returning Johnny and Robby as the Tony once overthrowing Cobra Kai. Similar to Full Groot and Rocky Phoenix with Sanj. Oh, I don't know, dude. I like what you're thinking with the Avengers thing, but like I think that's really dragging it because more than half the season Miguel's going to be away from a lot of characters, and that just isolates him from everybody. Um yeah, I don't think it would have ever been good after I don't think you needed after 3 episodes. I think 3 episodes max. You're doing half a season on it is too much, I think. Because then the thing is, people that would have then moaned like there was too much from Mexico. We didn't need that much. That's the thing. I like the idea though, Ben, but I just think that might have stretched it way too long. And they really focused on Daniel being concerned with Silver. He knows him best other than Kreese, and then Jessica Andrews knows him quite well as well. But okay, I have to say one of my favorite shots from season 5 is definitely the shot of Barnes, Chosen, Johnny, and Daniel all together. And like Johnny and Barnes just met. So I liked it when he said, "Oh, the bad boy's right." Like, oh, I loved it. I think Johnny and Mike could go on quite a lot because they're very similar, but I think they would definitely have that little competitiveness. Like, I was a two-time All Valley champ, but then Mike would be like, "Oh, but I won nationally." It would be quite funny. Um, yeah, it would have been too lousy. They killed him. It was more funny. Sorry about my cough, guys. I had a cough like a week now. The reason why Mike wasn't in the fight in the finals because he would have killed everyone. He was on steroids in that episode. That's an interesting theory. He was on something, some sort of. I mean, Daniel said it. His pupils were big. He was on something. He was on pre-workout at least, or if he's on coke, Jesus Christ. But ironically, he might have been on cocaine, like Terry Silver was in Karate Free in that moment. So that would be pretty crazy. But it looks like Barnes went to do something that he hadn't done in a while with his pubes being like that. Maybe he used to do coke because he was quite insane as well. Like Terry was on it, like he was crazy. Mike was quite crazy as well. Like the way he was like, "I own Universal," like he was so aggressive as well. But I mean, he could have been on something because he punched Sensei Hyun Min like so easily. That's a good point though. I don't think it's a bad thing if they kill Terry. It's just how they do it. But he's such a beloved character, even though he's a villain. Like everybody loves Terry Silver. It's a great, great character. Yep, that set it up. I think a lot of us were predicting that Daniel was going to use Quicksilver, and I loved the way they did it. The fact he used the crane kick to blind Silver, and also like temporary blind him, but then it's that reference, isn't it? When Terry said to Daniel, "You really think that you can't?" You know, he talking about that crane crap. Like he was doing that to Daniel and Craig Free. Like what a full circle moment that he used it on him. I'm sure Silver remembered what happened in that moment. Uh, Bingo, Jeremy. That's literally what my theory was on Barnes. I was gonna save it for like a video. I mean, I still will talk about it, but he knows a lot more about the national global side of things. He might have even competed in the Sakai Takai. How do we know that? If he is a former champion of, he said he's a national champion. What national tournament did he participate in? So Sakai Takai, I think he might actually already know about it. So they didn't know, like, so Barnes didn't know it was all about that tournament as well. But now, after the finale, I think they would, Daniel and Johnny and Chosen would probably inform him on that. I think he will definitely help them. I seriously think that. I mean, Yuji stole the show in a lot of ways. Season 5, he's definitely one of the best characters in season 5. Sensei Kim, she's she's Korean, South Korean, of course, and she brought in a very different style of mentality with Cobra Kai, even though it's similar to what Silver's preaching, but she was very aggressive. Like, look at the way she got Devon and Tori to fight each other. Like, I can't imagine what she does with her own students, and I'm sure her own students could easily rival, like, Robby, Miguel, Eli, Sam, Tori, Dimitri. I'm sure they could, and then chosen students could also rival them as well, like Sensei Kim students. Hope we see chosen students. I would love that. But even if we don't, I think we need to see at least Sensei Kim students because that's important. Um, I think they'll do a lot more with, I mean, I think they'll be setting if Silver is still the main guy, but then you have the other characters like Chris and Kim coming together. I mean, they could really focus on the cry, like you said, and they could just really show like the teenagers this season coming together and really maturing their styles. Like I want to see loads of moments with Robby and Miguel. I want to see loads of moments with Sam and Tori, like really getting to know each other. Like I think next season they'll really focus on the teenagers, like with developing those new dynamics and actually exploring them. And like, Anthony and Kenny as well, perhaps. But they can't forget, the adult stuff too. That's a very big part of season 5. So like with all the silver stuff. So it could get a little bit light-hearted again, just a little bit, but then it gets really dark again because season 5 was like season 3, and there seems to be a pattern. It goes from like being lighter to darker to lighter to darker. So end of season 2 felt really dark. It set up season 3. Season 3 ending, set up season 4. But 4 had a lot of humor. It felt like season 1, and the end of season 4, I mean, gave us hope. It really gave us like, oh, shit's about to get crazy in season 5, and then like how dark it was. The ending of season 5. Maybe things get light-hearted a little bit, but it's still dark. And then it goes to being super dark or even darker than it has been. I like the formula. I think it gives you a nice little break if it is getting too much in the tone, but I like the tone this season. I thought it was great. I think a lot of us can agree that Sam and Robby deserve to win that tournament. But I've got another video that I've got in the pipeline about what I think the tournament's going to be like. So I don't think it's going to be anywhere near like the All Valley. I think it's going to really evolve karate tournament mentality, like with what we see from the All Valley. We're really gonna, they're gonna expand the way it is, not just Kumite or Kata, but like they'll definitely do a lot more with the fighting. I think they're gonna do some tag stuff as well. Like, could you imagine more than one student fighting together? I honestly think they could see that. That would be pretty crazy. Like, what if there's 2v2s? Imagine Robby and Miguel. Imagine Robby and Miguel fighting together in the Sakai Take. Sam and Tori, Eli and Dimitri. You can do that. It would work. And you can still do the separate male and female divisions. And I honestly would love that if they did that. And we also got like some crazy moments where like Robby and Miguel getting some insane moves. Oh, dude, imagine. You heard it here first as well. I definitely think we could get that. See, okay, I think I think Kenny, he might seemed overpowered, but I think it was a lot of plot because I mean he only beat Eli because it's a plot thing, and he cheated. He cheated. It was plot. It was set up because Eli went easier on him because Robby told him not to go so hard on him. The silver bullet technique, again cheating. He even injured Eli, again being dirty. Should have got disqualified for that. The ref was in on it. There was several reasons why Kenny won, and when you consider all like those reasons, Kenny definitely didn't win. In my eyes, he only won because of the reasons. He's not a true winner though. and he had to do all of that to beat Eli. Like, I think when he found out that Tori had like only won because the ref, that changed the game for Kenny and how he fought. Like, maybe my fight with Eli then might have been fixed and some other stuff. But it would be crazy. See, that would be pretty crazy if they did more like Shotokan. It could really evolve the style. I think I think we'll get Barnes. I think Barnes and Silver and Crease and Silver. I think they need to happen next. So yeah, I think it's that. I definitely think it's that. Separate brackets. I mean, they have. It's such a big tournament. They could do mixed divisions. They could do, if it's not like in the singular fighting. I think they would be male and female. But I think like tennis, you've got the doubles and then you got mixed doubles. But in the singles, you don't have male versus female. You have males and females. But in the doubles, you could have like Miguel and Sam could fight together, and Sam and no, Tori and Robby could fight together, and then they could have obviously Miguel and Robby, Sam and Tori. Like they could compete with more, and it's so much bigger. Like they could do 2 seasons of this tournament. Like we could see one part of it in one destination for season 6, the next part in season 7, which is the biggest side to it. Like maybe qualifiers in the early stages on one season, and then the next season we get the bigger one. Because if Cobra Kai wants to go for longer seasons, I think just doing all of it in one season, I don't think it might be rushing it. But if we can get way more out of it, still build up, still give the storytelling, give it purpose for characters, but then you got the next stage. They can still mature, evolve, and we still get a lot of storytelling from when they're prepping for the tournament. It could do a lot, and the timeline wouldn't be that long. So like season 6 could happen within a month or two, and then the next season might even be shorter than that, because if they're doing it with that tournament, it can't be too long. But we'll see. Could be completely wrong, but it's just a theory. um yeah, don't worry, I just timed them out. I think Komiko could come to the Valley next season. I don't think she's gonna forget like Chosen like giving her that call, and I think that is definitely gonna make her go, you know what, I'll visit Daniel and I'll visit Chosen just to see how they are. And obviously Chosen with his injury, she might get concerned, like very concerned when she sees that. She might even consider just taking him back to Okinawa 'cause she doesn't want him damaged. But then Chosen's like said that stuff, so she will definitely see how they develop that. But it'd be nice if we got a moment with those guys just to show that development. But yeah, I'm gonna round this off at an hour, like because my cough kind of finding it harder to talk. But I can definitely do another stream this week talking about it. Um, do you feel elements of the season were rushed? I loved it, but only like 5 episodes. I don't know. I don't think there was anything rushed. Personally, for me, I don't think anything was super rushed. I can see why people say Mexico's rushed, but I think because it felt they really slowed down the moment. Said that's why I don't see it being rushed for me, and I just like what they did. But um, I think what I want to ask you, Jeremy, is what do you mean by certain elements? Because you said it, but it needed like 5 episodes. So like, what specific elements? You might have been referring to something I said earlier on. Just wanted to know. Uh, well, I can see Silver getting out of prison, but then Sensei Kim and Kreese team up by that point, and then he sees Kreese is back, and I don't know what Silver's gonna do if he sees Kreese. I assume there'd be a fight. I'm just curious what Silver would do. I don't think he's gonna team up with Daniel and everybody else to stop Kreese, because then, like, they were trying to get Kreese's help. Like, it just kind of defeats that. Um, I just think I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that with Silver though. Silver's arc's gonna be very interesting because I think he's gonna be fully pissed off with it all, knowing that Daniel got in the way of his expansion and the Sekai Takai. Yeah, Silver's not a happy guy, guys, and now he's getting to jail with all those charges that he has. But Stingray's case isn't that strong because he's now saying like he was under great distress. But Silver has the money and the lawyers. I think he's gonna get out early. Just watch. I see. Apart from like Silver stuff, obviously the Daniel and Johnny growth. I see the dojo growing. I'm curious what those Cobras will do that left Terry Silver's Cobra Kai. Are they gonna just move to Miyagi and Eagle Fang? And Chosen could be a great person, and Johnny and Daniel to mentor those students. But like Kyler, can we see him joining those guys like Robby, Miguel, Eli, Sam, Tori, Dimitri? I don't know. Like I think Kyler would get abs. I think he'd get bullied if he went there. It'd be worse as well because he's always been a bully. So I don't think anybody would want him there. But yeah. Um, I think Kyler was honestly like I like how Hawk called him out or Eli called him out. He's like, you've always been a bully in this bully act. You've always had this bully act. Like it was funny. Um, okay, so I understand the Mexico stuff, but like they haven't rushed anything with Sam and Tori. They haven't explored that yet. Like with how they're going about, reconciling. Miguel and Robby just had that conversation and they had the fight. Doesn't mean they've got everything out the way. It just means they respect each other enough to not be doing that now. And I just think the Miguel Robby stuff they already showed you for half a season. They like people would have been like, oh, don't drag this out to the rest of the season. That's what people would have said. You either getting now, you're getting it from half season. I liked they got straight with it with the Miguel Robby stuff because it's been 5 seasons now. And they've had moments like season 4, they looked at each other and they weren't like trying to confront each other, but they kind of looked like they were going to talk to each other. And I think Miguel and Robby needed to talk, but next season I expect way more from those two. Like I can imagine just scenes with just those two. Same with Sam and Tori, or all four of them. Maybe Eli, Dimitri, Yasmin, and Moon also come in with that as well. But um, personally, I think they will be getting explored. I mean, we obviously we obviously expect that. Hayden Schlossberg did say though that we're getting more. I mean, they're gonna start to explore the new dynamics like Sam and Tori and Miguel and Robby. So we still need more from Sam and Tori. Just the moment like they actually apologize to each other. Um, but yeah, like the fact Robby said to Miguel, if there's any consolation, like that was the worst moment of my life too, as well as yours. So yeah, I think I wouldn't, they they resolve the conflict, but they need to develop that new dynamic. So that's what season 6 will do. They will develop it. And Hayden did say we're getting a lot more of that next season. So we can expect to see a lot of that good stuff. So don't worry if, you know, you think we haven't got enough of it. Like they obviously know that. They don't want to throw everything in one season because you got to remember all the things we want, we can't all get it quickly. They have to do it bit by bit, and each season you want to see the evolution. And then when you watch the show, you go, oh, yeah, this season they had this season they had this season they have this. Like, I think I'm just excited to see those guys start to develop and explore those new dynamics they have. Like Miguel and Robby are brothers. They have to develop now. They have to really get to know each other, and they can make jokes about maybe their history now, like Johnny and Daniel have, like with the whole season two. I remember Johnny first time. He's like, "Oh yeah, when you kicked me in the face." Like, I want to see that style of maturity now, where they look back at it like, "Yeah, that was just silly, wasn't it?" Like we were being as silly as Daniel and Johnny, our senseis, and Sam and Tori. I feel like I don't see them cracking jokes about the school fight anytime soon, but I can see them cracking jokes about other things, but not like Miguel getting injured because obviously it wasn't funny. Um, you know what? That also was brought up in season four because Anthony opened it. I still think Anthony's going to use it. I don't know about next season, but if he was to use it to protect family, that would be pretty crazy. But I can imagine Sam also doing that. That technique is definitely something they need to bring up again, but they maybe aren't. Maybe they're setting that up for a future season. So yeah, I don't think like it's a throwaway thing. Like they can come back to it. Uh, yeah, I just don't think they could be like, oh yeah, do you remember when? Nah, that'd be too much on the nose, and that'd just be really weird. I think they could. I don't. Maybe they could joke about Tori taking over the microphone, or maybe then even that. I think maybe the school fight they might not joke about that, but they might just joke about maybe just little things. Like maybe I don't know. Robbie could just say like when he saw Sam and Miguel in season three, he was pissed, and then like Sam and Miguel could be like, "Yeah, we were just like it was just one of the moments," and yeah, I just imagine something funny. I just don't know what it is. It could be that they're just laughing at the Johnny Daniel stuff, like certain things. Like Miguel could be like, "This one time I saw Johnny, he was drunk and he literally like I had to take him to bed." But again, I think the writers they're the guys that know the jokes and what they want to do. I'm just assuming. Do you guys actually think we're gonna get the whole name with like Miyagi Fang or as Leith said, Miyagi Kai? I mean, Miyagi Kai would actually be a cool name. And let's just say if all the Cobra Kai dojos became Miyagi Do dojos or Eagle Fang dojos, or they like wanted to change, they wanted to take over. Let's say that they took over Cobra Kai, but then they rebranded it again and they made it Miyagi Kai. That would be pretty badass because that shows the growth with Johnny and Daniel Styles, and they've come and brought something bigger than both styles. I actually want to know more about the history as well with not just Cobra Kai, but Miyagi Do, because I think the rivalry between Miyagi Do and Cobra Kai, I think it was even before, way before Daniel and Johnny. Um, and maybe we learn more about Miyagi and you know, it doesn't. I don't think Miyagi ever met Kim Sung Young, but who knows? Who knows? They did say that he left Okinawa, you know, before like Sensei Kim became very well known, but you never know. Yeah, I do think Sean will return season six. I think he will. I can. I just hope he does. Ooh, I think he was just smiling like he's out of prison and he's going about his stuff, and the music went with it, obviously. But he might have just been smug. If he was looking at someone, that would be pretty crazy. That would be crazy. Hmm. Trying to think if he is looking at someone. We might be wrong here, but If he's looking at somebody, could he be looking at? Hmm. But then I don't think there's anybody there. If nah, I can't see that. Nah, I was gonna say he maybe saw Betsy, so he started smiling, but not like Betsy's actually there. Maybe he just thought of Betsy, like sort of hallucinating, or he just, you know, he just thought of her. I don't know. That music was quite interesting as well. It seemed like it came from Crease's era, so nah, nah, no way. I mean, I want to see a scene with Barnes and Crease definitely, but then Barnes and Silver, they need to do that fight. That's gonna be a crazy fight. Um, um, maybe it's Kim. If they showed Sensei Kim at the end there, that would have been like, oh shit, that's gonna be crazy. But I don't know. Yeah, that was funny when he escaped. Like, I think it was funny. I think she could join Miyagi Do Eagle Fang, but if they're combining, then it doesn't really matter. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I think like they had that little moment, but that might be a fight we just not see because it just seems forced. Unless Barnes and Johnny are training and they're showing students something, maybe they'll do that. Oh my god, like Johnny reminded me of like Miyagi fighting a bunch of people when he was doing that. Same with Daniel when he was fighting like the hockey players, but oh, I absolutely love what Johnny was doing. He was badass. He was using a lot of Miyagi Do. That's what helped him continue his fight. It's crazy. Um, but yeah, guys, we're past the hour mark. I think I'll be done for today. But like, I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll do this again. There's still so much to talk about. It's just there's a lot, and I'm covering it in a lot of videos as well. So expect a lot of content. I do want to say this as well. I'm doing some interviews soon. I'm getting some stuff planned. I might be doing some this week. If not, it'll be from next week. I hope you guys are excited. A lot of season 5 content. We got so much to discuss, talk about, and it's gonna be fun. So, guys, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe now. Turn on all the notifications. Follow me on Twitter, Cobra Kai Nation, and TikTok, Cobra Kai Nation YT, and then it's the same as my Insta. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.